All right. So, hi, my name is Hannah. I use she, her pronouns. Did you have any trouble accessing our Zoom session today?
Nope. The link was worked perfectly.
All right, perfect. And I noticed that on the intake form, you wrote down that your name is Courtney. Is that what you prefer to be called?
Yes.
All right. So, this is just going to be a basic intake session. So, I'm going to be asking a bunch of questions, trying to get to know you and your situation, and seeing if this is a good fit and how I can best support you. So, do you have any questions before we get started?
No.
All right. So I know that it's on the intake form, but I want to ask again in person just in case anything has changed. So what brought you in today?
So, I just been feeling a little down lately. Um, I just had another little baby, and I just haven't been feeling myself. I haven't been feeling like connected to anybody. Um, I got another little baby here. So, I don't really have a lot of people to talk to, and I've just been feeling really sad. Like, just, yeah, really sad.
Yeah, okay. So did you experience this type of sadness after your first baby was born?
No, I did not. No, it was not like this. It was a different time. I was a lot closer to like my mom and my sister, and I had a whole lot of help. I had a whole bunch of church friends. All of my friends were close to me, so I was able to hang out, and people were able to like come and visit all the time. And it was just like a different baby. So, it was the first. So he was like, it was all excitement.
Okay, okay. So you have different level of supports now. Um, have you experienced any sadness like this outside of childbirth?
Not for real, not that I can think of. Like I really haven't felt like this, like so isolated, like so sad. Like, of course I feel sad, but not like where I'm wondering, like, is this, wait a minute, I've been sad for how long? Yeah. It where it wasn't normal, like this is not normal for me to be this sad. And no, I haven't felt like that before.
How long have has it been since you gave birth?
He is 3 months now.
3 months. Okay. And what would you say your relationship is like with your newborn?
I mean, I love him, but he very much so irritates me.
So a lot of
It
work.
is,
Yeah.
yes, yes. But he's like a colicky baby, and so he cries a lot, like a lot more than my first baby cried. And he just, I mean, he doesn't sleep well, like,
Mhm.
and then his sleep throws off the toddler all the time. So we're just up at night, we're just up during the day.
Okay.
I said
And
toddler, but it's a big kid. But yeah,
how
he's
old is
still my
your firstborn?
7, 5. Don't laugh.
Okay. And what would you say your relationship's like with your firstborn?
Very good. Yeah, I love my firstborn very much. Um,
So that was just a
yeah.
completely different experience.
Oh yeah. Oh, completely different from first to second. Yeah, literally completely different.
Mhm. Did you have any like different life stressors happen around the time that you gave birth?
This second time,
Yeah.
yeah, well, we moved from where we were staying to 2 hours away. So like 2 hours away from everybody and everything that we knew. And also my husband got a new job where he's on the road for like throughout the whole week. So he is gone a lot. Um,
Mhm.
and
So it's kind
yeah,
of you doing all of the work while he's gone.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, I get it, but it's still very much so hard when you have to kind of go through the motions of doing everything and with no reprieve and no one around,
Mhm.
right? To even talk to.
Okay. Um, and when this sad, like how often do you like get sad? Is it just a constant state or does it come in waves?
It comes in waves, but it like throughout the week, I'm feeling it a good 3 or 4 times a week where I'm like truly noticing like, oh my gosh, like this sucks, or like where I'm in it so much to where I'm recognizing like, oh my gosh, like I hate feeling like this, like I don't like this, or like I'll be zoning out, but it happens like 3 or 4 times a week.
Okay. And then how long does it normally last?
Mm, it could last like sometimes, some days all day. Like some days it lasts like all day where I'm not really able to do a whole lot. Um, like for myself, like it's basic, make sure everybody's alive type of thing. And that's it. And that those kind of days last all day. And then there are other days where it's just a couple of hours. Um, and like I can shake it off.
Okay. Okay, so it ranges. Do you ever like get any thoughts of harming yourself?
No, no thoughts of harming myself, but just really, really overly sad though.
Okay. Does anything happen beforehand that like triggers you recognizing this sadness?
Um, Sometimes it's the baby crying, and I just, catch myself like looking and not like doing anything
Mhm.
about it. Like just like, oh my gosh.
It's overwhelmed, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like currently have any like processes or anything that you've done that kind of like copes, like helps you cope or help like get rid of that feeling?
Um, Usually like the one thing that I can do, or when it's not super heavy to shake it, is like go for a walk. So if I'm not like super, super heavy, then I can usually pack up the kids in the stroller and, we could just walk. Um, and that normally will help me out. Um, and it's also helps to get the kids out the house,
Mhm.
so they can get some energy and some air.
Okay. That's good. That you have something that is helping. Is there like a situation that happened that you were like, okay, now like I need to get help for this? Like any like big, like when did you become aware that this was going to be like a really big issue and you needed some help?
I think again, it was like one of the days where I really caught myself more so staring at my newborn than like reacting to his cries. It was more I was just like looking, and that kind of scared me,
Mhm.
when I came to and realized like I'm not doing anything. It was like, dang, what was I even thinking? Like where did
Mhm.
that pause come from?
Yeah. Okay. And I noticed on the intake form, you said that your husband doesn't believe that you need therapy. Is there any like, has your husband supported you otherwise, or like, what's your relationship like with him?
Well, he supports us, of course, monetarily as he works all the time. Um, but the I don't know, our relationship is not really like connected in a way. Like um he works and I take care of the house. And like that's the beginning and end of it.
Okay.
So
Okay, so it's more so split where he's working and then you're doing all the home duties.
mhm.
Okay. Um, and then I've also on your intake, you put that you live with your mother and your sister as well. Um,
I I did live with them, but then we moved
and then before you,
out. hmm
okay. So what's your relationship like with your mother?
Well, I really love her. That's my heart. And when we were like closer, like we just spent all the time together. Um, she has been a good support system for me. She's basically taught me almost everything. So she, she's the person that we go celebrate holidays with, like me and my sister. We're her only two. So, like, I'm the oldest, and we just always celebrate everything together, whether it's a holiday or it was something super small. We were doing everything together. And then we weren't because I moved all the way out
Okay, so she was a good support for you when you guys
here.
were
Yes,
closer.
definitely.
All right, and then what about your relationship with your sister? What's that like?
That's my baby sister, and that was my first baby doll ever. But no, that's my bestest friend. We still like talk on the phone every day. Um, but like the distance has been hard for me just because how deeply connected I am to my little sister. So moving this far away from her is like really tough on me because not only do I not have like my support, because I could always call her with my other child and be like, hey, can you watch them? Or
Mhm.
hey, can you come over and just spend some time with us? So like not only did I lose that part, but like I just lost the physical,
Yeah, just having someone else around.
yes, having somebody else.
Okay, okay. Do they ever like come visit you or you visit them or anything like that?
Um, my mom is not able to travel, and my sister, she's not gonna come up here yet.
Okay.
So, and then with me having a newborn, it's like really hard to decide to pack it up and to like do the work of packing up and then do the work of driving and then
Mhm.
the work of packing up and then the work of driving again and then getting back in the house. Is a daunting task that like prevents me from like doing things.
Okay. Okay. Have you been in therapy before?
I have been in therapy, but not as an individual. I've been to like couples counseling and things like that.
Did you have a positive experience with that? Or like what was your experience like with it?
It was okay. I don't I It was very religiously based, so it wasn't it wasn't to what I necessarily needed or felt like I was really resonating with.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, it wasn't a terrible experience.
Okay. And then you received like the couples therapy with your current husband.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we did that to kind of, you know, just reevaluate and seek out some things as we kind of figure out this marriage thing.
Okay. And and that like kind of helped or like your relationship?
Um, it did help our relationship because we were able to better communicate with one another, but like in terms of connecting with one another, it didn't serve that purpose.
Okay.
But it did make communicating easier.
Okay. And do you work at all or is it just your husband works and then you stay
It's
home?
just my husband works.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what would you say your sleep and energy levels are like? I know like with sadness, it can affect a lot of like your sleeping and energy. So what would you say that's like? And like how many hours of sleep do you get a night?
Well, I usually only get like maybe 4 hours of sleep at night. My sleeping patterns are totally thrown off. Um, and I very much so sleep less, less, and less than I normally than I normally would. But I expected a little bit of sleep change with a newborn, but goodness gracious, sleeping and getting up and doing the whole everything of life is, yeah, I definitely noticed that I'm not sleeping as much. But you know what? Some days, like I really oversleep too. Like some days I'm like, can't get out the bed. My body is like done
Mm,
and like really all the way in the bed. Um, just getting up for essentials. Um, and did you ask about my eating patterns?
that's gonna be my next question. Are you noticing any changes with your eating patterns?
um, I am starting to eat less. Like sometimes, some days I notice that I didn't eat all day because I'm just moving or I just am not thinking about it. And it's weird because I feed children, all day. I just don't feed myself
Mhm.
all day. So yeah, definitely have been eating less, which isn't necessarily good because then I don't get the energy that I need.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of exacerbating the problem here. But nevertheless, yeah,
Do you find yourself like taking naps throughout the day? Like if the newborn's asleep, you're trying to sleep as well?
yes,
Yeah.
all the time, all the time. Or if I'm not taking naps, then I'm like on hyper cleaning mode.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, definitely.
okay. And then do you have any like hobbies or leisure activities that you like enjoy or like at least that you did enjoy before you had a newborn, like had more time?
Um, I used to really enjoy dancing. So going out and like just dancing,
Mm,
that was something that I really enjoyed. And also um like sewing, just making a big quilt is like wonderful wonderfulness for me. So yeah, definitely sewing and dancing. That was my thing.
okay. So then maybe a goal could be, find the supports, find someone that could maybe watch your newborn and toddler for a little bit, and then like being able to get yourself back into those leisure activities and hobbies to kind of like give you a sense of self again and things that you enjoy. Do you have any family history of mental illness?
Um, I know my mom at one point was diagnosed with anxiety, but other than that, I don't know anybody else in my family that has been diagnosed with a mental illness.
Okay. And do you use any substances or drink alcohol?
I will drink alcohol occasionally. I don't use any other substances.
Okay, so it's not anything that like gets in the way of your daily life.
No,
Okay.
no.
And then another question I have is like what are your general goals for receiving therapy? Or like what do you hope to like or intend to get out of this?
Well, really, I intend to like talk through how I'm feeling and really like come up with strategic plans to like help me. Um, so like for me, that looks like talking about what's going on and really having a focus on where on the type of things that I want to improve on, or even just identifying areas where I can just rest in. I want to like help myself to kind of find that balance right now, like find a ease into understanding the all of me right now.
Okay. And if you have like ever attended any like parenting classes or mothers groups or anything like that?
I did when my eldest was about to be born and born, I did all the first mom things. So like we went to all of the mommy and me classes, all of the little all the things pre-birth, and post-birth. Like that was exactly what I did.
All right. And did your husband come with you to any of those, or was it solely just you kind of?
That was just me. That was one of the main reasons why we went to counseling in the first place, was because he wasn't really helping with the kids. And this was before he got the job that he was on the road. So
Mhm.
yeah.
What is his relationship like with the kids?
He is a very distant parent. Like I don't know if you ever, no, you probably never, but there's like a commercial where it's a dad and he comes home and or he comes over and he's like, I came over to pick up my son. And he picks up his son and he looks at him and says, I love you, son. Then he puts him down and says, and I'll be back next week to pick him up again. And that's kind of like how it is. Like, yeah, you picked up your son.
Mm.
But like, is there anything else?
So kind of
So
doing the bare
yeah,
minimum that he needs to do.
definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Do you have any other questions or things that you want to bring up or things that you think would be important to mention?
Um, no, I think I don't have any questions. Um, I just, yeah, I just want to know when can we see each other next? Because I need to be able to talk to somebody about everything.
Yeah. Okay. So from this intake, I've like what I'm hearing is that you're having this very deep sadness surrounding your newborn, and you don't really have any connections or support since you just moved into a completely new area. And it seems as though your husband isn't really that helpful since he's working a lot. Um, and so you're kind of just looking for some supports and some ways to vent about what you're experiencing, as well as trying to identify ways that you can best support yourself while also caring for your two children. Um, so those are like your goals and what you're experiencing. Um, so hopefully, if you feel comfortable and this is a good fit, we could meet again and start actually going through what you're experiencing and trying to find those supports.
Yes, I would really like that.
All right, perfect. Then we will see each other next time.
Thank you.